I'm just going to press record. Yeah, it's how I'm feeling at the moment, and I'm sure everyone can relate to that in some way. Even if you don't feel like you've been really caught up in the chaos that Christmas can bring, and the feeling of overwhelm in terms of organizing things and people staying and trips and all of that, I still feel that collective energy at this time of year is very much of the essence of trying to close things down, of trying to complete things, of trying to like really get into the habit of like clearing out, and that can be like quite a lot to deal with. It can be quite overwhelming if you look at things full zoomed out panoramic. I was doing it today. I was thinking, how do we clean down this boarding house? Because there's so much to do. And so, you know, you have to take it in little bite-sized chunks. And so whilst our collective energy is like that, and trying to process and filter through all the things we want to sort before the new year comes in, actually our practice can be that of grounding, nourishing, really like nurturing for our bodies, and deeply stretchy as well. Because I don't know about anyone else, but I'm not sure if it's the weather or if it's just the feeling of like tightness that happens around this time of year a little bit as well, but my body is more achy right now than it has been all year. It feels like I've literally just every day, it's like I'm waking up, my back's like, oh, straight away, which never happens. So I think it's that tension. So it's going to be really lovely to just practice in a way over the next couple of weeks. We're leading up to Christmas this week and next week. Practices are pretty much as normal. Well, they are as normal actually, all the way up until we get to next Sunday, which is Christmas Eve. But practices apart from Saturday, which I'll keep quite lively and quite exhilarating, like a fun ride, everything's going to be super slow and super grounding. And we haven't got any yin over the Christmas and New Year period, so of course that's why I want to make things a bit more nourishing and slow down as well, because we're missing out on those two practices on those two Sundays. So yeah, but it won't all be yin. Tonight's practice is going to be really slow, really mindful, stretchy flow. And actually, I'm going to keep it the same as just to keep saying to you guys, whatever playlist you want to listen to, because I'm also aware that after a day of being quite stimulated in work, home, you know, if you've got family and stuff going on at home as well, and if you've got big commitments at work, and if you've got social lives you're trying to juggle, and scheduling for yourself and your routine that you're trying to fit in around the holiday shifts and timetable switches, then actually having more sound and more overwhelm in a practice might not suit. However, it could also be quite soothing to have something, even if it's like a yoga nidra playlist on. So pick whatever feels good to you. There's loads of new playlists on there from the last like month or two, and there's obviously the archives as well, as the Yuletide Yin playlist, which has made a stunning comeback. So yeah, so let's pop it on. Let's go for it. You want to have, if you've got a strap, that would be great, and if you don't, then use something like a scarf or a tie or dressing gown robe tie or something, and have a couple of blocks as well. I think the lighting is just about okay in here. It's just my main light, yeah, it's flashing. The bulb's going. The bulb's been going like that since I first moved here, so I didn't have done anything about it, because it also switches on most of the time, just not all of the time. And actually tonight we're going to start laying on our backs. So I'm actually going to turn on this main light, because I do feel like I'm in the darkness quite a lot. Yeah, I'm just going to turn that on. I can turn it down again as we move. So starting on our backs, soles of the feet together. Grab your 2 blocks, and you can slide those blocks underneath the thighs if it feels like quite a lot to bring the legs out into full butterfly. Then you can bring the arms up above the head, palms face up. Let the back of the head rest against the floor, the spine rest against the floor. Let your body get heavy. Allow yourself to really settle in. And just start to bring your focus and your awareness into your breath. And as your breath enters and exits the body, feel the expansion, feel the softening. Notice how the body starts to drop into stillness quite easily with a feeling of a reassurance and like it's coming back into the space it's wanted to be all day. It's like putting on that favorite pair of pajamas or slippers or dressing gown or whatever it is that makes you feel like you've really arrived back home after a day out there doing all the things. So deepen the breath and allow your body to sink into that sensation of arriving fully. And as you let the exhale each time leave, it's like you're releasing just a little bit more of the excess, the stuff that's bubbling up to the surface, the bits and parts that you're carrying of other people's that don't really belong to you. And your inhale is an opportunity for you to bring in more space. You might be able to hear a little Theo in the background, so apologies. Bath time isn't always the smoothest. Some of us are well aware. Just trying to let the body relax. And the breath soften. As you notice the body a little more, as you notice the feeling of you relaxing and the breath and the rhythm internally starting to build, start to maybe take little adjustments here so that you can just get even more comfortable. So if you've noticed that maybe the arms above the head, the palms facing up is building a little bit of tension in your neck and shoulders, can you move them gently and slightly so that the neck feels slightly longer and there feels like there's a bit more freedom in the neck and shoulders now? And similarly, if those blocks that are supporting under the thighs, if you're using them, if they could come down a level, then let them. Or if they could move slightly differently on the legs, they can move to a slightly different space, then do. And allow yourself to just make these adjustments so that your body feels as if it's really kind of, again, settling into the next layer of comfort in the shape in your practice. And if you have an intention or something you're working with, if you're trying to really bring yourself into a certain mood or setting a certain tone for your evening, and the reason you came to this practice was to shed something, to invite more of something in. When you read that message earlier and saw that it was going to be a slower, more nurturing flow, was there a feeling that drew you towards practice? And allow yourself to work and be with that. Just with 3 more breaths here. Gently using the hands to reach down and move the blocks out of the way if you're using them, and to scoop the thighs up and together. Bring the knees towards the chest, hold your hands around the shins, and just take a little rock from left to right, really slow. Massaging out through the lower back, feeling into the tension and the resistance there. You're going to let the knees and the thighs drop all the way over to the left, and let the right arm extend out and away from you. Feeling the rotation through the body, the release through the spine, the outside of the hip, the thigh. Allow yourself to either extend that top leg or both legs if there's space for it.
So if you want to extend one or both, you can. And holding the little toe edge, the outside of the ankle, the foot, peace fingers around the toe. As you extend, as you allow the body to rotate. And then slowly from here, releasing, coming all the way back through to the middle, hugging the knees back towards the chest. This time we'll find happy baby. So hook the elbows to the inside of your knees, your thighs, hands around the outer edges of the feet. Soles of the feet up towards the sky. Feeling that lovely stretch and release through the inner line of the thigh, the hip, the hamstrings even. Just noticing the body. Breathing into the back body as you press the tailbone to the earth. Feel the heaviness, the weightedness of the pelvis. And if it feels good to you, you can separate the feet a little wider. Slowly bring the feet back together, knees back to chest. And from here, gently rock to side until you roll onto your right hand side with the knees. So bring the knees all the way over to the right. And just allowing the left arm to spiral out and away. So you're in that open arm shape, back of left shoulder and arm to the earth. Feel the twist and the release through the outside of the left hip into the lower back. Allow yourself to get heavier. And feeling that rotation through the spine, through the body, can you breathe a little deeper into the side of you? Allow that top leg to extend away, if that feels good, or both legs to extend. And then slowly bend the knees, let the legs come back through to the center. Happy baby for a second time, but this time take it somewhere different. So take it to a different place than you did before. Maybe taking the legs out really wide. Maybe bringing the knees closer to the armpits. And then slowly bring the legs back in, straighten them up towards the sky. Let the left knee bend, let the left foot come to the floor. This is where we could start to use our strap if we want to. We can keep a hold of it with the hand. So you don't have to have your leg fully locked out and straight, but you could either wrap the peace fingers, first two fingers around your big toe, or hands around the calf or around the back of the thigh, whatever feels good. And from here, we're working on trying to just gently give back a little bit of pressure in the legs. So we've got an active range here. So we've got our active range of flexibility, of mobility. So we're deepening the inhale and exhale once again, really connecting to that as we gently press the foot back and away into the hand. And pressing the heel up towards the sky, the toes pull towards us. And then slowly bending the knee to release the pressure from the back of the leg. Hook the right ankle on top of the left thigh and pick up the left foot. So the left foot's off the ground here. From this space, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, drop the legs over to the left so the sole of the right foot comes to the floor. The knees pointing up to the sky and your right thigh is pressing away from you. So it's like you're trying to just open up through the hip. Yeah, you're opening up through the outside of the pelvis a little bit more. Again, just feeling into the body where you can create a bit of pressure so you find activity in the muscle, but you're not forcing past that point of sensation. And then slowly from here, on your next breath, you're coming all the way back through to the center, but this time on your back, keeping the ankle hooked. You can pick up the left leg, so you can use a strap here as well if you want to, or reach the hands around for the left thigh. Bringing the leg in a little more active in your right foot. So the ankle isn't kind of floppy and easily to bend. You've got this activation and spaciousness there. And breathing nice and deep here as you feel the outside of the hip open. And very slowly from here, place the left foot to the floor, unhook the right ankle, and straighten out the right leg for a moment, just feeling the length and the space down through that right leg. Maybe squeeze the bum and release, so you get that little active and then passive feeling of releasing, letting go. And then rebend the right knee, left leg to the sky. This time again, you're going to hook the peace finger around the big toe, or you're going to take the strap around the foot, or hold the hands around the back of the calf, thigh. It doesn't have to be exactly the same as you did on the other side as well. It might be different on this side. Work with your range and your range of kind of pressure and resistance here. And slowly from here, bend the left knee, take the left ankle on top of the right thigh, figure of four shape, and then drop the knees over, the legs over to the right, so you can feel that twist, feel that release as the left foot comes to the floor. Big stretch and sensation into your left hip flexor as well as the outside of the left hip. A lot that happens in this pose, so breathe into it and let there be some activity through that left thigh, like it's trying to press away from you. Then on your next breath, come all the way onto your back again. Bringing that right knee and thigh up off the floor. Maybe you hold around the back of the right thigh or hook the strap around. Activate left foot. Feeling that lovely stretch and release here. And slowly place the right foot to the floor. Unhook the left leg, extend. Point the toes. And then bring the knees all the way up into the chest, hug around the front of the shins, rock up and down your spine. Up and down your spine. Then straighten out your legs, flex the feet. Move the flesh from the sit bones back and away. As you start to breathe your way into your forward fold, straight legged fold. You can round the spine, close the eyes, let yourself be in this shape, this length of the head moving forwards. Take another deep breath in. Have a long, slow exhalation. And slowly release the feet, unravel the spine. Bend your left knee. Step the left foot up and over the right leg. Hug in, right arm around left thigh, around left knee. Take a twist. Fingertips press down behind you. Lengthen through crown of head, rotate. Feeling that length in the spine and also that rotation. So there's that lovely big stretch through the back body. So through the lower back on the left side. And then very slowly from here, rolling back to face the front of the mat. Left ankle above right knee, so on the thigh, creating a figure of four shape again. Lean back, create double pigeon pose with the leg. So the right foot goes over to the left and we stack the shins. This might be still quite a challenging pose, even though we've started to open up through the hips. But if, like I said at the start, this time of year and right now, you're noticing that you feel quite tight and quite resistant to softening, and there's particularly, I think, maybe around the hips and lower back for lots of people I'm seeing is more tension than usual. And just take your time at easing in and out of the pose. You don't need to force yourself into a forward fold here, okay? You might have loads of space here and you naturally might let yourself lengthen and fold over the legs, but you may not. You may feel, like I said, there's that bit of resistance. And so we'll just breathe softly. Back, unhook the right leg, lean to the right and bend the left knee. Take a deep breath in, and from here with your heel next to your left hip, so you've bent the knee and you're going to start to lean back into half hero as far as you can go. If you've got blocks nearby, you could start to use one or both of them. So one of them may be down the length of the upper spine as you recline back. As you move into this shape, creating a bit of openness across the chest, or use the blocks underneath the elbows, the hands to support you as you lay back. Left knee and left thigh sinking closer to the floor. Taking one more deep breath in and one more exhale. From here, really slowly using your hands to press into the floor. You're going to rise up. We're going to come forwards off of this left knee into our low lunge. So grab your blocks as well. And you can shuffle that left knee back, but grab your blocks. Frame your right foot And allow your hips to drop towards the floor. So feeling that left hip open as you come into that low lunge. So hands are on the blocks or on the floor, but blocks are good here because they give you a bit more of an opportunity to distribute the weight through the arms, chin to chest, forehead to inside of knee. And body starts to move forwards, body starts to move down towards the ground. So the weight of your body and gravity does the work here. So you've got this lovely feeling of length and stretch without having to grab or pull or force in any way. Slowly sit the weight backwards, wriggle the right foot forwards. Start to straighten out the right leg as you drop the chest into your half Hanumanasana. So press your heel down. Lovely length through the back of the right leg. Head drops again, chin to chest. Maybe the blocks either flip higher or lower. You can adjust them a little bit. Then the left hand only to the block as you inhale, reach the right hand up to the sky. Nice big twist and release through the right side of the hip, the outside of the right legs, the IT band here. Then from here, you can rebend the right knee, drop into the pelvis, right hand to right thigh, or keep it to the sky, depending on what feels good for you. Maybe you tuck or untuck the left toes, elevate back knee. And slowly from here, untwist the body. And as you shift backwards slightly in your body weight, wriggle the right foot over to the left. Lay the shin down. Blocks can be there to support the hand. As you come into pigeon pose, extend the left leg back behind you. Then drop the head, heart, and body down towards the floor. Feel the weight of your body. Let yourself just sink a little bit further in. A few more breaths here. Gently shift your weight onto your right sit bone, so over to the right hand side. Roll up to face the long edge of the mat. And extend your legs out wide as you get there. Flex the feet just a little bit, so just a light flexion in the feet, so you've got that feeling of slight tension in the thighs, engagement there. Take a deep breath in, lengthen the spine. Walk the blocks out either in front of you or one block out in front of you. As you exhale, fold forwards, elbows, forearms, hands to the floor. You could use the props, you could use the block here or the blocks. If you've got your shoulders fairly close to the floor, you can even use your blocks underneath the shoulders on a slight angle, so they can actually support your chest as you fold, your upper body as you let go. 3 more breaths here. Slowly rise up. Unpeel yourself. You can sweep your legs around, so bending the knees, taking yourself into down dog, still facing the front of the mat, so facing normal orientation here. As you come into downward facing dog, you can pedal out the heels, stretching the back line of the body. And popping up onto the tippy toes, walking your feet towards your hands. When you get to the top, dangle, fold. Let yourself totally hang out here. Body just completely lets go. No gripping, no holding. Just let yourself get a little heavier, maybe bounce gently up and down. Sway very slightly side to side. Feel that lovely length and stretch in the backs of the legs. Soften at the knees, rolling all the way into toe squats. Then gently separating the knees, chin to chest still, rolling onto your bum. Slide the legs out in front of you. Move the flesh back from under the sit bones. And fold forwards once again, finding that lovely length through spine, through back of legs. Noticing the feeling of drawing forwards and down at the same time. Come into this straight leg fold. Really slowly from here. Unravel your spine. Bend your left knee. Step your left foot up and over. No. Okay. Bend your right knee and step your right foot up and over. Left leg. Right fingertips behind you. Either hook the elbow or hug the thigh in. Lengthen through your spine as you twist. And try and relax that right side of your body. So try and let the right sit bone relax down towards the floor. And then slowly unravel the twist, facing the front of your mat. Bring the right ankle to hook on top of the left thigh. Flex the foot. Deep breath in. And then start to lean back. Bend your left knee. And as you exhale, you can start to come into the shape of double pigeon or fire log pose. And again, like I said, same thing on this side. You don't need to fold yourself forwards in order to still get sensation and to get the feeling from the pose. If, however, folding forwards is natural in your body in this shape and feels good and there's space for it, then go for it. But I just don't want us to feel like we have to keep forcing the body or pushing deeper into this. This is good enough. One more deep breath in. Exhale, lean back. Extend out your left leg. Keep your right knee bent. Take the heel next to the bum, next to the hip. And again, start to recline the body. Laying back onto the block. The back of the head be heavy. And notice the feeling of stretch through the front of that right knee and thigh, the top of the foot, the ankle, the shin. Slowly from here, we're going to rise all the way back up. We're coming into that low lunge, so take the blocks with you if you used them last time, which I think we all pretty much did. Right knee can come back, blocks can be under the hands. As you drop into the hips, again, you're trying to press into the blocks. You're actually trying to use them to support you, not just have them there just to kind of block up space. We're really using them here to actively push down into, so we feel like the floor is our ally in this pose. And then we're letting the hips get heavy, so it's like the hips are a magnet for the floor. And then as you inhale next, shift backwards. Flex the left foot up. Dig the heel in. Feel the length and the space through the back of the left leg. Your next breath in. Right hand pushes into the block, left hand spirals up to the sky. So you get that lovely twist and reach, that stretch here. Pull your left hip bone back very lightly. So your right hip gets to roll slightly in favor of the forward motion. Bend your left knee, drop the hips. And then letting the left hand either stay up or left hand to the thigh as you twist your lunge. Back toes tuck or untuck as you elevate that back knee. That feels like too much on the hip, you can always put the knee back down. Just go to a place that feels good for you, where you feel like there's space, you feel like there's access of breath there. And slowly letting the knee come back down. I'm going to tuck the back toes. Slowly, no we're not. We're going to wriggle the left foot over to the right. I'm way ahead of myself trying to get to down dog. Left shin down for pigeon pose. We mustn't forget this one. Left shin down for pigeon pose. Right knee shuffles back. Forearms or elbows to the floor. Moving through the hips. Letting the left hip, left knee, left thigh stretch out. Slowly from here, roll onto your left hand side. Start to walk the hands up, face the long edge of the mat, feet out, toes flexed. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, folding forwards. Giving yourself the time and the space here in wide leg shape. Slowly unravel the spine, coming all the way up. Scoop and turn the legs there at the front of your mat. Start to bend the knees, bum towards heels as you curl and roll the spine all the way down. Place on any extra layers, jumpers or blankets. And I would advise something over the eyes if you've got it, anything at all. It doesn't have to be an eye mask or eye pillow, but it could be. But it could also just be sock, pop, anything you've got to just cover the eyes entirely so you've got that feeling of no light coming in. And you could set the bolster up under the knees, yes, or anything else at all that allows you to feel really held here in this space. Allowing yourself to come into complete softness, complete ease. Noticing the body laying here. Really noticing all parts of you resting on the earth below. Observe the peacefulness and the ease at which your body accepts this position. And as the observer, is there anywhere that could soften even by an extra 1% as you lay here? Watch as your body uncoils entirely. As the pressure valve gently opens and the excess intensity slowly hisses out. Back of the head drops into the earth beneath you. Another inch. The shoulders relax back. The belly softens. The pelvic floor releases any holding. The legs and the feet become their true weight. As you give yourself
the complete permission to uncoil and trust that this time is enough for you to fully rest in the mind and the body. Allowing each part of you to accept this time for what it is. The thoughts will come and go, and the body remains the same. Rested and heavy. A simple practice of counting each breath from 25 to 1. A full round of breath is an inhale and an exhale. No forcing or stretching of the breath. Simple observation, experiencing the rhythm as it is. If you get lost, forget where you are, simply start again from 25 and begin the count. The aim of Yoga Nidra is to stay awake whilst allowing the body to fully rest, like the waking sleep. Body recovers, mind is awake and present. You can begin your count now. Allowing the rhythm of the count support you, deepening the sense of rest. Keep the mind active whilst the body sleeps. It's okay if you drift off. Let your body and let your mind take from this what it needs in this moment, right here, right now. Allow your body the opportunity to stay still here as your mind starts to step forward into the sounds, the smells, the familiarity of the space around you. You deliberately press the breath out to its full expanse and soften to its complete emptiness. Notice and feel the rhythm of the body. And very gently and slowly introduce some movement into the hands and the feet. Being mindful of the body in its resting state, gently turn onto your left hand side. Slowly coming all the way up to seated. Hands together in prayer, thumbs to third eye. We'll seal our practice together this evening with a bow of love, honor, and respect, remembering that we are all connected. We are one. Namaste. Thank you. And happy Wednesday, yogis.